Welcome to Unfiltered 3, spilling the tea with
Cece,
Autumn,
and Brie.
Hi, friends. How are you today? We hope you're doing well. We have one of our favorite episodes, which is Tipsy Tarot. And we have a guest. We had a guest one other time, my best friend Grace. And now this time, this episode, whatever you want to say,
yeah,
my little sister is here. Emphasis on the little. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My sister is here, and her name is Audrey. And Audrey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Audrey. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, always welcome.
Yes, we're so excited to have you on. But for our listeners who don't really know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm a dog groomer and I own my own business.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
That boss bitch life.
I'm engaged to my fiance, Nathan. Yeah. It's really exciting over here.
I just got to give you some props because not only are you a dog groomer and an owner of your own business, but you're 21 and you're a dog groomer and you're the owner of your own business.
I am 22.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
like,
you're 22. Y'all, that's
Such an older sister.
that was recent.
It was, to be fair, a week ago tomorrow.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks,
2 weeks
ago
ago tomorrow.
Look, I don't know your age, but I know your birthday.
I know my age and I don't know my birthday. So at least put us together. We got it figured out.
We balance. Oh, jeez. Anyways, I just want to give you props because that's not an easy feat, and you've done it. And you've done it at a young age, and that's huge.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so huge.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. It's,
No, I'm sure it's not.
but I wouldn't take it for granted at all. I love it.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's like what everyone strives to do, is to have something that they love and fills their cup every day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And as a client, I say you do a fantastic job.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And I love all my puppy clients, especially Zelda.
So, just to learn a little bit more about you, how did you get into dog grooming?
Well, I wanted to be a hairdresser. I wanted to go to school for cosmetology, but I didn't want the people. I'm not a people person. And so but I love animals. I've always loved animals. So I was like, I can do this, but on a dog. And it'd be way more fun than a person's head.
Yeah.
I don't know. It took a long time for me to actually take the jump and go to school. I remember you and I, Autumn, looking at schools for so long, like probably a year or two of me searching and searching.
Yep.
And then just randomly found the school one day and I just sent it. It was the best impulse decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now, yeah, because I wanted to dye hair. I wanted to do all the coloring and highlights. It's the only part I wanted to do as a cosmetologist.
Yeah. That's so
and no,
funny.
it's the part that I'm not doing on dogs,
Yeah.
but I will get there one day. I promise I'm going to get there one day. It's just not a huge, like, I don't have the clientele for it around here. If I was in a city,
Yeah.
or if we had shows
Yeah.
around here like that, it would definitely be the area for it.
We definitely have a very like rural, old town.
Traditional.
Traditional. I was gonna say
Traditional.
it's a lot of older generation.
If we lived in a city, then I would have like breed standard dogs where like by the book, that's how they would get cut. But no, everybody likes their dog hair shaved down. A lot of the dogs look a lot alike. It's fun.
It's monotonous.
Very creative.
It's very exciting when I get a client that says, do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
It like spikes a little bit of anxiety because it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Too many ideas.
Yeah, it's like I wanted to do this. I've been grooming for almost a year now, and I'm like, the other day I got someone, she was like, I'm not picky, do what you want. And her dog was in the perfect situation for me to do whatever I wanted to do it to. Finished the groom, couldn't stand how it looked. The dog was so good. Sat there the whole time. Just a great dog. And I finished and I was like, wow, this is disappointing.
But it's a learning process. It's a
Yeah.
growth.
Well, it's because most dogs, as a dog would, don't understand what's happening to them. And they're just sitting on a table and wondering why I'm coming at them with these sharp objects and whatnot. And so they don't sit still. They don't allow you to do the things that you need to do until you've built a relationship with them. And I finally got a dog that was like,
Just
do
chill.
whatever you want to me. And I did, and I did not like it. Because I just didn't know what to do without the fight back.
Yeah. I have to flip back to when you said that, like, you would, when you wanted to be a cosmetologist, all you wanted to do was dye and highlight. That's the opposite of me.
We could have opened up a salon. we could have been a
But I didn't
full
wanna-
service salon.
I didn't want to cut. Like, I want to go to cosmetology or esthetician school, whichever. But I would want to go to be able to do, like, wedding, prom hairstyles. For
Gotcha.
whatever reason, you need a license to do that, even though I already know everything I need to know
Yeah,
to
and
do
she's
it.
good.
But I can't charge or, like, do it professionally without a license. So, well, I'm really glad that you enjoy what you do, and you're really good at what you do because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
It shows through, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good experience. It's definitely better than working as a veterinarian assistant.
Which is what you did prior. Yeah. Yep. Or retail. Good
all
old retail.
All respect to anybody that worked in the veterinarian field. That was just,
That's a hard job.
yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
By the way, the bartender tonight, Bree, made amazing drinks.
Yes, this is my favorite drink for fall. And it's 2 ingredients, so it's super easy, cheaper to make. You know, sometimes cocktails have 5 different alcohols in them and it can get really expensive. So this is really accessible. I drink it every season, and it's caramel vodka with apple cider.
Yum.
And it's delish.
Yummy.
It is delish.
So we had taken some shots like we normally do a little bit beforehand, except tonight we took a shot of brandy.
That's good stuff.
Oh, no.
I refused.
I'm growing hair on my chest.
Yeah, nice and warm. And then we took like another fruity one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
So-
like a kinky and a lemon vodka or something like that.
Mhm.
It was like water compared to the brandy.
I like the way the brandy cleared my throat.
Yeah, do that.
It sizzled a little bit.
It's like I stand by my statement of it's like nail polish remover.
It's like rubbing alcohol. It's
Yeah.
just not good.
Oh, yeah. I took one sniff and
can't.
was like, no.
I smelled it and was like, I
You just can't
do
smell
that.
Don't smell it.
It lingers
It
in
just
my mouth.
don't breathe for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just hold my breath for a couple minutes. I'm just laughing at me.
It lingers in my mouth.
Tipsy Tarot.
Oh, geez, always in the ditch.
Well, speaking of tarot, what spread are we doing today?
Yes, that. We are doing a Black Cat tarot spread in honor of the holiday vibe we've got going on. It is a 6-card pull, and so it's number 1, how you try to present yourself to the world. Number 2, how the world/others actually see you. Number 3, how those close to you see you. Number 4, how you see yourself. Number 5, the essence of who you actually are. Number 6, how you can free yourself to be truly you.
I like it.
I like it. I think it's something that anyone can relate to in some way.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to see what the cards have to say while Bree shuffles them.
Yes. Autumn looks over to me because she just got her first tarot deck.
I did, and this shuffling is not my forte. Especially with others around. I'm like, no.
All right, well, let's get started. So the first card, how you try to present yourself to the world.
Damn. That shot right out.
It did. It was like, me. You got the 4 of Pentacles reversed. Or we got. I don't know. I kind of focus it on, like, since you're the guest, we're kind of like focusing on you.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it's still going to apply generally.
Mm-hmm. So the key words for 4 of Pentacles reversed is materialism, selfish, and frugality. And this is going to relate to us and how you try to present yourself to the world, or how we present ourselves to the outside world. Prioritizing self-interest over everything else can easily turn into greed. Frugal spending for fear of losing it all has you clenching on tightly to your existing capital with no room for error. You're on a conquest to gain more, with the rationale that more stuff means more emotional and financial security. Material gains are not the answer to your problems. All work and no play blocks out any hopes for any real relationships. Make time for yourself. You deserve to enjoy your earnings from time to time. I don't know what it is about reading, but I'm like, can't breathe. Don't let money control you and your decisions. Know that no matter how much money you have and whatever amount of stuff you can buy, it will not be what ultimately fills you up. Look toward what makes you passionate and makes money. Now that's a game changer.
Oh, poo.
Did anything from what I just read resonate in any way?
I initially thought of like the journey I'm on right now, trying to move, save the money to move, start my own life on my own with my fiance. And that is as far as I got.
I thought a little bit about that for you. And then I also thought of, so in that aspect, I guess, let me start there. What I thought about in that aspect is kind of just like, you're going to be as prepared as you can be. You just got to do it.
Right.
And then just making sure you're prioritizing the right things when you do it.
Mhm.
And not everything to almost fill that space, but just making sure you get that space, and then you'll find it'll fill itself.
Right.
And then I also thought the end really just kind of pointed out something that you've kind of already accomplished, or you're in the middle of accomplishing. And that was the end where it says, look towards what makes you passionate and makes money. Now that's a game changer. And that to me was like grooming.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you found that. And it
Mhm.
was almost like you're on the right path.
Yeah, that's how I mean, I went from like there and the fact that I want to move, save money for that. I'm saving money for a business. And it was like, don't be greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But part of me is like, save every single last dollar that it possibly can and put
Yeah.
it somewhere in some account to go towards something that I need. But I've also always trying, words are hard.
That's our slogan.
yeah, that is for sure. I think it comes to a point where I think you and I can relate, because we had the same childhood growing up where we didn't have a lot. We were very poor. And so now it's like, no, we want to get the things that we want because we weren't able to do that when we were a child.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
And
what I
so
thought.
it's like a really hard battle to find like that middle ground of like still, and that's like what it says is like still allowing yourself to get those things, just making sure there's some, it's like actually going to fill your cup, and it's not like an impulsive empty decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to touch on that, that's where the other part of it where I thought was like, okay, I grew up and everybody that I grew up with that I had friends that I was friends with had anything
Mm-hmm.
that they wanted and I
Yep.
did not.
Yep.
And so now I have my own money, I can make my own choices, and I see something I want to buy it because I
Mhm.
can, but it's making that realistic and responsible decision to not buy everything I look at like I want to. Like Taco
Mhm.
Bell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Taco Bell is an impulse. And I'll tell you what, I do not feel left empty. I am full and happy.
Oh, I think personally, I think back on a time that's like a good example for me is like during COVID, where I kind of felt that solidarity I haven't felt in a very long time since like when I was babysitting you. Like I was in a very bad spot that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, but now I have my own money. So I was like, oh, I see that. I'm bored. I'm going to buy it. But then that thing didn't fill the void that I was trying to fill. So then I bought another thing. Then I bought another thing. And I've learned from that period of time of being like, okay, spend the money, but make sure it's intentional.
Right.
And it's not just materialistic items that are now clogging up my space.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to move out because you want to start this new life with your fiance? And is the only thing that's holding you back money? Or do you have a lot of other obstacles in your way?
Money's probably the biggest factor.
Mhm.
The
Always.
economy
Mm.
and
Mhm.
how it's just almost nearly impossible, at least in our area, to find somewhere to live.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
know,
that's not budget breaking.
yeah, and
It was difficult.
my fiance has his cat Mookie. I have
Mhm.
my dog Drew. Nowhere around here in our area
Animals
accepts
are hard.
animals for an apartment. So
Mhm.
like we're really left with buy a house. Buy a house, you need a big old deposit, down payment for that.
It's a bigger commitment for
Mhm.
sure. Like you definitely want to feel more financially sound, but I think it also comes down to where like anything can happen.
Mhm.
Like you can be in the most financially perfect spot and then something happens and it's gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a lesson I grew growing up.
Yeah, that's definitely. But I think sometimes I take that the other way, and I take it more of a negative way, and I'm like
because that could possibly
yeah, that
happen.
could
I
be.
don't want to do it.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
okay, since I live with my parents, I'm safe. Yeah, I don't know,
Mhm.
but even though that happened when living with our parents, but if Nate and I move out and we have our own house, then
It's
It's
scary. It's a
it's
big
our
commitment.
responsibility. Like it's on us. It is. We gotta take care of it. It's not something I'm excited to have that responsibility. It's like I'm mentally there. I'm ready
Mhm.
for it, and Nate's ready for it. That's the only reason why we're really not even married is because we don't live together.
And that's something you want to do before you get married is live together.
I have a place to live.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like our parents.
Yeah.
I know that this particular card was based on how you want to be.
How you present yourself to the world.
Yeah. And I have to say you're doing a pretty darn good job.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And you should be proud of where you are.
It's like you got 3 big sisters in the room.
I know. It feels pretty good because a lot of this I don't feel this way about myself.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing that you do, but you're 8 years older than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm more behind because you are
Mhm.
who I hang out with primarily, right?
Yeah, I get it. We're in different phases of life.
Our lives.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm the 8 years behind, but I'm really not.
Mm-mm.
I'm just going through my own journey and I try and tell myself
You're-
that every day.
Oh yeah, you're farther ahead than I was when I was your age.
Oh God, yeah.
Greatly appreciate that.
But
But I feel 20 years behind.
I was very lost. I was very lost when I was your age and just kind of skirting by.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, I know I have my business and I know what I'm doing career-wise, but I
Mhm.
still feel lost.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I still
it's your
don't.
20s.
Obviously, I don't have
Yeah.
it figured out. I don't expect to
Yeah.
have it figured out probably till I'm 90. But
Yeah, I was like that.
Do you ever?
doesn't
Accurate.
really
I
go
don't think it
away.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I think you just
No.
live with it at some
Every
point.
day you're just like, I'm just doing what I gotta do, man. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
doing though.
My slogan, my logo: fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So generally speaking, what stood out to me with this card is like that pressure to do well from society. So you want to put on that front that you are doing well, that you met expectations, that you did the the thing where you're supposed to go to high school and then go to college and then get a good job and then be super successful and buy the big houses and
Have all the fancy things and
being able
Yep.
to randomly buy decorations and go out to eat, like not necessarily flaunting wealth, but like having that perception of like you are okay, you are financially good, even if you're not. And adding on to that is like the relationships where it's not 50-50. The stay-at-home moms, and even reverse side if the woman of the house is making more than the man, and having that pressure on yourself, like almost that guilt of like, oh, I'm not making as much of them, and like those self-talks that you have with yourself that you need to work through. My voice. I'm having vocal strain, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, those pressures that you put on yourself to do well and fronting that to society, that's kind of what called out to me generally.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you said that because that's where my question stemmed from in my head. And yeah, thank you for,
It's something I
the
struggle
words.
with.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so ingrained. Like you look at any social media and people probably see, well, they see what they want you to see, right? You see the best version of them, not the worst version of them. And like that's all people push out, that's all people can relate to, and if you can't relate to it, you're like, well, then it's because I'm doing something wrong.
Yep.
And it's because it's not, most of the time it's authentic in the moment, but it's not their authentic self.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Nathan, my fiance. What I learned from him when it comes to those things is he's always saying like, I don't want the American dream. I want my dream. I want what I
I
want.
love that.
Yeah.
I don't want what everybody else has. I want whatever I make it for myself.
American dream is a facade, but that's fine. That's a
That's
conversation.
another
Yeah.
podcast.
That's a conversation for another day, maybe never.
Little tangent, but
but yeah, no, for sure. My thing that I drive to do is just to be happy in my day-to-day life. If I can be happy to my day-to-day life, that to me is success. And I went through that materialistic phase in my young 20s because of almost like a trauma healing kind of thing, like healing your inner child, getting her what she wants. Like, no, I want that fucking shirt, so I'm gonna get that shirt, whatever it may be. And now I'm in the aspect of like, okay, I want to have exactly what I need, and that's enough. And I think you have to, it's a growing process. I think everyone goes through it. Some people don't. They get through a little bit later in life. Some people get through it a little bit quicker. I forgot where I was going with this. I totally lost my train of thought.
Well, everyone's on a different path when it comes to like financially speaking and success in that way, and in general, of course. But you don't have to compare yourself to other people. You are on your own path, and just focus on your mental health and being happy, and don't put that pressure on yourself just because Susie down the street is they're more well off than you or something, and you can't,
or they
live
look
up to
more
that.
well off than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But yeah, I think that the message mainly from this card is just, present your authentic self to the world. And, or at least what I would try to take from this is to present my authentic self from the world and not the image that fits what's out there.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to figure out what that is for me.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. I feel like most people are, but
me too.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2, how the world / others actually see you.
The Knight of Cups.
Oh boy. The Knight of Cups. Charmer, seducer, lover.
Are you reading the reverse side?
No.
Oh, it's not reversed. I thought it was reversed.
No.
I thought it was upside down. My bad. Go ahead.
You may receive a romantic inquiry from a person of interest. The Knight of Cups is very in tune with his intuition and not afraid of a deep conversation. His emotions play a key part in his life and rule his decision making. The Knight of Cup prances in as a person, an event, or a part of yourself that will bring you to high spirits. Regardless of gender, there is chemistry between the two of you, and that is simply undeniable. The Knight of Cups urges you to shine a light on your vision and encourages you to take the plunge. He wears his heart on his sleeve and openly expresses his adoration for you. He is a sign that whatever you choose to do, you will be emotionally supported in the process. You've got some serious game. Receive the love that's coming your way.
Well, I don't have anybody sliding into my DMs right now.
No.
No, I didn't take it as like a person.
This is the first sentence I
Can I read
heard.
it?
Well,
It's
one of the
how-
key words is adoration.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost like a praise for you're doing so other people how other people perceive you is that you're doing so well that people truly people truly love you and that you're very successful in the fact that you're a good person. You have a good relationship with your friends, family, and that you're kicking ass at freaking 22. You should be very
Yeah,
proud
not
of
21.
yourself. Not 21. No, you were sucking at 21, but you're balling at 22.
So I've been balling for about
2 weeks ago, you started balling.
Turned 22 and started kicking ass and taking names.
That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So there, I got all
She's feeling 22.
Autumnal rocks. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I got off of that too. It called back to introducing you into the episode itself and how we just sat here and are like, we're so proud of you, like, and just
Mhm.
giving you those affirmations and that feeling of proudness and love and admiration. And yeah,
So on
You-
days when you're feeling down, know that you got support, whether you realize it or not.
You also got to think like of what the question is itself and how the card relates to that. And this says how the world and others actually see you. This is how you vibe with others, and I think this is a huge part of why you are so successful. Is you're authentic. You're authentically you. You have always been that way. That is a strength of yours, Audrey. You have. You have always been able to just do what you want, say what you want, things of that nature. Maybe there's certain, situations where you've felt anxiety with that. I understand that. But for the most part, you've always been authentic to you in who you are in that space at that time. And that radiates. People are attracted to that. They want that because they strive for that for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I think that Cece hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, that meant a lot. Going based off of what you both said, what I got from that was who I now have as my group of people and who I've attracted into my life versus where I was a couple years ago. I have people in my life that do give me words of affirmation. They do fill my cup. It's not negative and it's uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. But in a good way. It's an uncomfortableness that I'm
It's like stepping out of the
comfortable
box
with.
and experiencing something new.
It's like an onomatopoeia. That's not the word I want. Oxymoron is the word I want.
I was gonna say it's like a pop.
It's an oxymoron. It's like never mind.
Getting into English.
But yeah, like I don't have as big of a group that I had when I was younger, but now it's smaller and it's safer.
It's healthier.
It's so much healthier.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that.
And so you're pretty good at doing like a general conciseness of a reading. What would you say that card to that question would say to like the general person?
It kind of still fell in line with what we said, is that like someone who is very loved and admired and supported and isn't surrounded by the drama, to touch off of what Audrey just said. Like, they have chosen people in their lives of quality who fill each other's cup. And I think a lot of people don't actively, consciously try and strive for that. Like, they just kind of end up entangled and enmeshed in the relationships that they have. And then they see someone like that and it's noticeable. All right, so we talked about how we present ourselves to the world, or how we try to. We've talked about how the world in general sees us. Now we are going to talk about how those close to us, how those close to you, Audrey, see you.
Okay. That's scary. Let's do it.
Considering what we've said already, I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I think the niceness scares me, honestly. I feel like
Relatable.
that's something I need to figure out that I can
Well,
take.
it's just not something that we're used to hearing. That's all.
Mm.
The next card will be you stink. I'm just kidding.
I'm 22 now, so that's not allowed. That was when I was 21, see ya.
How we really feel about you.
Give it to me.
Frenemies. I'm just kidding.
It was fast.
Yep, and it's confirmed it.
Mm.
The Magician.
Oh, and a major arcana. And I get to read it. I love the major arcanas. They don't pop up very
I
often.
think I knew that because every time that they do pop up, Autumn gets very excited.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is right side up, right?
Yes.
All right, so the Magician. Its planet is Mercury. Its keywords are inventive, manifestation, and true potential. You've got the spark. Creation is the name of the game, whether you pour your energy into a new life cycle or creative project. This is a time of pulling in all your resources to manifest your desires. Your toolbox is complete with anything you could ever need, and if it isn't, the right tools will appear exactly when you need them. You are resourceful and constantly find innovative solutions to problems with grace and ease. The universe has your back and will provide you with the power to manifest your desires in the external world. Infinite opportunities are available as you continue to flow. Be clear about your intentions and use them to fuel purposeful actions. The more specific you are, the more you magnetize your creative energy and manifest magic. Claim your power.
Loving this.
Mm-hmm.
The manifestation brought me back to when I first finished my hours for dog grooming school. And I was presented the possibility of an opportunity to work side by side with another dog groomer and start my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know for a couple weeks, and I could have went down a completely different path if I did not get presented this opportunity that I really did not want to go down. And for the couple weeks that I didn't know what was going to happen, manifestation is what I tried really hard to do.
Mhm.
And I just remember being like in my car, being like, yeah, you got this.
Mhm.
You got this. You're
Mhm.
that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You a boss ass bitch, and you gonna get what you gonna get because you want it and you want it that bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that brought me.
Mhm.
And I got it. So
Yeah,
that shit works.
manifestation.
Shit works.
It's such a powerful tool. I remember there was a job that I wanted that I had interviewed for 4 times. And this last time, I had so much anxiety because a lot of my anxiety and my mental health issues stem around fear of failure. And so I was just like, this is going to be another time I'm going to fail. Like, I was crying on my way there. I called our mom, and mom was just like, you're good. If anything, you made it through the interview. Like, just giving me like another perspective, like being proud of myself for doing this again, because most people wouldn't. The 4th interview, they would have been like, no, clearly you don't want me.
Right.
And so I remember sitting in my car before I went in, and I wrote 10 things, just pretty much like 10 manifestations that surrounded this, and like things that I knew would come if I made this next step, and that I just knew I needed and I knew were right for me. And I got the job.
Yeah.
I got the job.
I think that moment when that happened for me and I did get what I was trying to manifest, I truly believed in manifestation. It wasn't something that I was against, but it wasn't something I was comfortable in.
Mhm.
But that was like, okay, this is for me.
Like, I'm actually putting that vibe out there. Like, it's
Yeah.
not just like I'm just saying the words. I'm feeling the words as I say them.
And I've never felt like of course, any job interview, I'm interviewing for this job because A, I need it, or B, I want it. But I've never really not really what I wanted to be doing. It's what I needed to be doing in that moment. But this, I wanted this. And I got it.
You want it, you got it, and you made it work.
Yeah. I'm very grateful for the dog groomer I work with. No.
She is a lovely lady.
She is.
Shout out to her when she listens to this.
She will listen to this. She will listen to this.
How would that relate to how the close ones see her?
So this one, I felt the energy that I feel with my nieces and nephews. And it's that whether it's a younger sister, a niece and nephew, really like a younger close one, or just maybe a loved one in general, I don't know, where it's that feeling of like they have the potential to do whatever they want to do. And if they just put their head to it, they're going to go for it. They're going to do it, and they're going to do so well. They're going to be so successful. And they have all the support and love in the world. Like it's that unwavering, unconditional love and support of like a parent or like a close loved one that I felt with that.
Yeah, I think, to play off that and what you said earlier about having like healthy people in your life, I think it comes down to like the people that you have in life, and I'm talking personally as well, is that I get so happy to see you so happy. I get so proud to see you so proud of yourself. Because, like, in a way, you're my sister, but you're my child.
Fair.
And it's just that, like, I don't, other than like proud, I don't know another word to express, but it's like proud 10 times over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like all the love and just all the good vibes. All the good vibes.
Appreciate it. Need those.
Absolutely.
It's a hard feeling to describe with words. It's like you always hear when someone becomes a parent or something, like you never knew you could love so much as you love them. It's that. It's immensely powerful and strong.
This unconditional love.
Yep.
That's so sweet.
Is there any more? Should we do it? I feel like even general, it's just that. Number 4, how you see yourself. Dun dun dun.
I feel like this is gonna actually hurt my feelings.
This deck is very kind.
Okay.
It's not like that one time where we had a girls' weekend and it called me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Those were oracle cards, though, weren't they?
No, they were your favorite deck.
They were. I do like that deck. I do.
Or maybe someday to be your second favorite deck since you have your new deck now.
That's true.
Your word of deck sounds very close to dick. My second favorite
That's
deck.
a nice deck.
It's your second favorite deck because now you have your own dick. And your big old balls.
It's that gold.
Black and gold.
All right. How we see ourselves. How you see yourself. Ace of Pentacles. The keywords are abundance, manifestation, and prosperity. I'm noticing a theme here, guys. Opportunities are abundantly available to you, especially in the material world. Manifestations are taking form in the financial realm, and you are planting the seeds for further growth. The earth is fertile, bringing forth fresh energy, new assets, and good fortune. You're rich, not just financially, but in your relationships, career, and family. You're holistically wealthy. Keep on sending the good vibes out there to have them come back to you. Ideas are brewing with potential and possibilities for the future. and you are attracting resources for your new venture. Use your common sense and practicality to expand your growth and make real-world impact. The universe is supporting you on your expansion in the form of business and investments. Ask and you shall receive.
Well, the last part, business and investments, I guess I could relate that to college.
Mm-hmm.
That is a path I want to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Terrified to go down.
Yeah, for some context for listeners, you recently got accepted into a local community college.
Yeah.
And now she's just deciding whether she wants to take that avenue to get a business degree to learn more of the business side of dog grooming.
One of the things I'm really hearing with this is that you have already really thought about what you want to do and how you perceive yourself and where you want to go with that. And just keep down this path that you are going because you are going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep the energies high because you will get what you want on this journey. Just keep trucking. You're going the right way. That's blatantly what I'm hearing.
Yeah. That's definitely something that I struggle with,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that I'm going in the right direction. I think college in itself has always been terrifying for me. We talked about this earlier. We were taught graduate high school, go to college,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. I graduated high school. I applied to college. I was going to college for winemaking, to be a vintner. For why? I don't know.
I thought it was a really cool degree.
And I think but that's what so scared
Yeah.
me. Like everybody was like, "Wow, that's really cool," and I was like,
yeah.
"Okay, but why am I doing this?"
Yeah.
It
You didn't
is
have the
not-
actual passion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
what turned me off immensely from doing that, I wouldn't have been able to drink my own wine. I was too young. I would have had to spit into a bucket. I'm not going to school for that if I can't taste it. I'm sorry.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
No, it's just not what I wanted to do, and it took me a while to get where I am, but
Well, is that you've experienced these things and you've learned, and you might view it as do you view that as a failure?
yes.
That is not a failure. That is a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you have learned now what you do want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody gets that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And how lucky to have found your passion and now be able to extend it. And I know you're nervous to take that step to school again, but this is going to expand, not block.
And it can be a different experience because if you go into college and know that this is on your terms versus on your parents' terms or your parents' expectations or society's expectations, but it's truly what you want to do, it is your choice, you are going to be successful at it. You're
Yeah.
going to put that time and that effort into it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to see the beneficial outcome.
I think it's just the academical side of
Mhm.
school is not
Yes.
something I excelled in. I didn't excel in the way that school is structured.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It's
not
also-
structured to how I
It's also
learn.
right, and you're mandated to take all these subjects that aren't interesting to you, and maybe business math probably isn't what's driving you there.
Not
But
in
I
the
think
slightest.
I think the idea of it bettering what you do love to do is the perspective you should hold on to.
And that's exactly what
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what is making me want to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what's keeping me from wanting to go is the math and the English and the
Yeah.
science and not the history. I'm there all day for the history.
Mm.
Love history. But there's marketing.
I have a horrible
And,
recall.
there's the marketing that I want to learn and how to
Yeah.
do my taxes.
Yeah, things
Mhm.
of that nature, definitely.
Because it answers all of the questions that I have in my business that I'm insecure. Like, ignorant to. I don't know the answers to.
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And I know it would cause me,
Build a confidence.
yeah, it would build a lot of confidence for me. But while I'm going through this journey, it would also cause me a lot of anxiety.
Yes. Yep.
But I think the fact that I can do it all online will
And-
ease the anxiety a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Do it how you need to do it. Like if you don't go into it being a full-time student if you can't commit to a full-time, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like take one class, take 2 classes, like do it as you can. I feel like there's this expectation of like when you go to school and that's your sole like responsibility, that's your sole focus. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like you can do it in a manner that fits you
Mhm.
in whatever way that is.
It's
That i-
yeah.
That is hard though for some people. Like you at least you have a business, you have a source of income to help out, but there's still financial aid and things can get messy with that. So just making sure you have your plan and like,
Yeah.
you come prepared and knowing what to expect. And
I have a
Yeah.
plan. It's if the financial aid ain't aiding, I ain't going.
I hear that. So I do want to relate this to the question for you and how you see yourself. And I almost think that even though it didn't pull reverse, it's reverse of what it's saying. Like almost this is how you can work on your image of yourself because you said that, you struggle with seeing yourself this way and seeing yourself in a positive light and not feeling like all the negative sides of it. And this is telling you like, no, you are all those positive sides, and to try and kind of flip that perspective for you and like see yourself in this beautiful light that you're in.
Yeah. Because, like, as much as what you guys say means to me, it's like when you say these words, it just bounces off of me. But if someone were to say something mean to me, I'll absorb that and like I'll take that in, and that will be what I can live with, and I'd feel more comfortable living with that negativity than I would positivity.
Yeah. Yeah.
it validates that voice in your head.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that though, Autumn, because all these conversations we've had during this reading so far, whenever you reflect on yourself, have touched on what this card is. And manifestation was a big part of this card. And that conversation we just had about like knowing that you're going to get what you want and having that mindset and then it becoming true. And like you are doing what you need to do. You are laying the groundwork. You are financially making the plans that you need to have in order to continue to bring success on yourself. Like you're doing the things you need to do. And that called out to me a lot with that too.
Sweet. I like the reassurance.
And honestly, to turn that more general, it is just in general that belief in yourself. And I feel like a lot of people struggle, obviously, with mental health, the anxiety, the depression, comparison, all of those things. There is that part of yourself. But then as you're doing this healing and this self-healing, listening to that voice of like, you can do these things, you can bring in that success and like have this loving support system and all of that, like holding on to that mindset and seeing yourself that way.
And just knowing every step through that process, the positive voice will get stronger and the negative voice will get weaker. And like you said, how you've been able to recognize it more and more through your inner child working and through your healing journey, and just knowing that it's just like working out in the aspect where like you're not going to go to the gym and see the results the first time you go. It's the consistency over a period of time. That's where you're going to see the results. And it's working your mind just as if you were to work your body, in the way that you think, in the way that you process, in the way that you treat yourself and you pick yourself up and you don't beat yourself down, and through that you grow, and then you see those changes that are just right there for you.
And I'm glad you said that, because when I first started that healing part of myself, I'd recognize it and I'm like, damn, that happened to me again. Like I was ruminating for hours or whatever. And then it kept happening. And then I started to be like, well, usually that'll take you the rest of the afternoon. You've only been ruminating for 2 hours. Like, you caught it sooner. It doesn't happen like you catch it or like you prevent it from happening in the first place. You're gonna see the progress little by little, as you said.
Absolutely. And you're more than likely going to have setbacks too.
Oh yeah.
You know, where you just took 20 steps forward and you feel like you took 50 steps back. Like, I honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, that's been me lately. Like, me lately, mentally, I have not been good. But I know that this is just a period of growth for me, and that once I get through it, I'll be even better.
Going off of that, I just realized in this second that mentally I have not been doing really all that great either. And it's usually right when I'm about to make some type of big decision.
Oh yeah.
Because like I just realized when I made the choice to leave my job, have no job, and finish my schooling, that I wasn't doing mentally well before I made that choice. And then I was doing great mentally. And now I'm not doing mentally well as I'm debating on what I want to do, college, whatnot. But this time I've decided that I'm going to see a therapist and that I'm going to work on my mental health while also going to school.
That's good.
That's amazing.
And that's where I related to the part that says attract your resources for your new venture.
Yeah, that's big. I'm proud of you for that.
Me too. Me too.
I haven't done it yet,
You
but I have looked very deep into it.
The fact that you have thought about it is a celebration in and of itself.
It's funny. I know that I'm there and I'm like right there when I go to either our mom or dad, and I'm calling a therapist and have them figure whatever out insurance wise. But when I go to them, and that's how I know like I'm sticking to this, because once I tell them about it,
it's solidified. Yeah.
The essence of who you actually are.
Oh, damn it. I love when cards that are supposed to be 6 cards turn into 15.
The Two of Wands and Justice, both reversed.
2 of Wands reversed. The essence of who you actually are. Keywords: doubt, limitations, comfort zone. So many ideas, but where to begin? Your creative genius is hard at work, churning out possibilities. However, not making any real progress with concrete next steps. Think about what your big picture vision is and narrow down your ideas to the one that will get you where you want to go. By prioritizing your passion, you are prioritizing yourself. The road ahead offers many possibilities, but you may be experiencing resistance to going down that path. There is a fear of leaving familiar ground, and you would prefer to stay in your comfort zone, even though you may realize that it is limiting how much you can grow. Listen to your inner voice and let it guide you to where your inspiration lies. Give yourself permission to follow your passion.
Okay, call out.
Yeah.
Feel personally attacked.
Audrey's going to college.
This is why I want a visual podcast. The facial reactions are perfect.
Yeah, you can see it all over my face. I don't hide it.
One day, and hopefully one day soon. Justice. Its planet is Libra. Planet? That's not a planet.
I'm a Libra.
What is that? That's an astrological sign. Libra. This is not a planet. Oh my goodness. Okay. Reversed. Keywords are injustice, unfair, delinquency. Situations, people, or events in your life may feel unfair, and you are seeking to blame anyone who could be held accountable. Injustice is playing her hand, and instead of looking for a scapegoat, take responsibility for the role that you are playing. Karma is a bitch, and your past actions are now catching up with you. Take inventory of your life with complete honesty and see what can be restructured with the utmost integrity. The situation at hand is very black and white, right or wrong, with no shades of gray or room for opinions. Weigh all perspectives objectively and ask yourself, what is the root cause? Be honest with yourself. If you feel like you have truly done your best to right the situation, then take the lesson and file it under lessons learned.
The first card,
Mm-hmm.
that's easy. That I
Mm.
guess I'm going to school. No, but that is reassuring
Mm-hmm.
in a way that will probably help me get to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
The second card, I'm lost. But I'm also not at the same time because it also feels like I am the one attacking myself
Mhm.
and I am the reason why I feel the way I feel.
Mhm.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, I almost related it to our parents too, a little bit. And I don't know how to define that one
I would need
without.
you to go more in depth about that for me to
Yeah,
get
I don't know
there.
if I want to do
Which
that
is
right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine. But I think for me to tell you if I relate, we would have
Yeah.
to do that.
What I'm hearing is as you go forward, you know where you want to go. You know the path, you see it, and you are taking the right steps. And when you said, you know, you know, I have the right people around me versus then versus now,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where it's going. You have the support system you need. You have the right energies to keep going down this path and to not don't let anything hold you back. That's what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
I think this could also, maybe it doesn't relate to you right now, but maybe it will relate to you in the essence of who you actually are when you're going through that journey too. Almost in a way of like when you find yourself in that deep, dark anxiety and stress, and you're grooming and you're going to school, and there's probably going to be a little bit of burnout in that because you're trying to juggle your relationships as well. I think this is almost like a reminder to like take that step back and like do that zoomed out perspective and to carry that manifestation part with you.
Yeah.
So I'll say this generally speaking, but I do think it ties in with this conversation in general too. But I see it as like the soul's journey. Like this is who you are in essence. And it's someone, whenever we talk about being in alignment and like we are on our life path, our highest good, we're on the path to our highest selves, however you want to word it. You are going to do the things. I feel like this is a common theme that we keep saying. You're going to do the things. You're someone who knows what you want deep down. Even if mentally you struggle of like, I don't know if I want to do this or this, like deep down, you are going to follow your passions and you're going to do what is best for you. You're on your path and you're going to make it work. And I feel like the other card, the Justice reversed, is like the other side of you of what whenever I talk, I always feel like with mental health, at least for me, it's like that split between this is who I want to be and my highest self and all the good things and the manifestations and knowing that I'm going to do what I want to do. And then there's the other half where it's like, but are you good enough to do it?
Mm-hmm.
You messed up this thing and this is your fault and here's how do you need to protect yourself so it doesn't happen again. And like it's hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
You almost have like that devil angel
That's what I was
perspective on the
seeing.
shoulders. Yeah, I
Yes.
instantly thought of Emperor's New Groove.
I know, I always think of that too when I think of those.
Oh, the level, Kronk.
Wrong
level. I love Emperor's New Groove.
But yeah, it's just the journey as a whole with the soul and the things you want to align with and the things that are holding you back and that constant like struggle and balance between the two.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like I'm my own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know that if I go to college and I put the work in that I need to put in to be successful, I will be successful. But I also know my past self, and when my anxiety gets high, I pull back. I don't put, the effort in, and then I give up, and it is what it is, and I live with it. But this is not a situation where I want to do that. So it's like I'm playing a game with myself. Like, am I ready? No, I'm ready. But am I ready?
So I think you're ready. Not because I think that you can do it, but because you're setting yourself up for success in the factors of you're planning for when you know things are going to get thick and hard, like with the therapy. Like you're having that perspective of almost like that maturity of being able to prepare in a way that's going to benefit you through that, where you didn't have that in your past self. Like you're building those fundamentals and those resources and to just get you through it. And I don't know if I said my first sentence correctly. I am proud of you and I know you can do it. And I know you can do it because of that.
Thank you.
To reword it. I was like, I don't think that came out right, but
You have a strong personal power.
I do? Well, thank you.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Go for it.
Who decided? You decided, right, that you wanted to be the dog groomer. No one said you should do this, and you, or did think? Yeah, I want to know the
I
correct answer.
decided, but I guess
Were you inspired by something?
I was inspired to be a dog groomer.
Okay, because that's different than someone coming and being like, "Oh, you should go do this."
Right.
Did you apply for college, or did someone say you should do this?
My mom said, wait. We talking about now or a long time ago?
Now.
That was me.
Yes. I'm talking about present.
Presently, that was Audrey.
Okay. And I want you to understand that you are making these decisions because you know it's where you want to go.
Yeah.
And because your energies are ready, and that's your power. You already have it.
It's a good way to look at it. Thank you.
Emotion.
I can't look it.
See ya.
Love you so much, but I can't look at you.
Well, you can't look at Cece.
I'm just feeling it. I totally.
Bree can't look at Cece.
It's a whole cycle.
But I just want you to know, you're making these decisions. Your essence is good.
Yeah. It's almost like a reminder of those past triggers or those past traumas coming up, and they can stop you because you're like, oh, I don't want to go through that again. But then you have to know, no, that wasn't my choice then. I was forced into that situation, or that was a situation that was out of my control, but this one is.
I think that's what makes it scarier, though. It's because it is my choice. I am the one that holds all that responsibility again. I've gone to therapy. That wasn't my choice. I've almost went to college, but that wasn't my choice. And now I want to do those things, and they're my choice, and no one's telling me, you have to do those things. I'm slightly telling myself, with the therapy, you got to do that, because that's good for you. And everybody can use a little bit of therapy in their life.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's what makes it 10 times scarier. Because, this point, I'm not just letting everybody else down. I'd really be letting myself down, if I did not succeed. And that's what keeps me from doing these things. But I'm going to let myself down if I don't do these things.
I think that's also a part of growing, is a part of knowing that there is not success without failure. One does not exist without the other. You're going to have both. But going through that failure, it's for a reason. There is a lesson to be learned, and you're going to grow through it. It's going to suck, but you're going to grow through it, and just keeping that perspective of and not not letting it stop you. And this is coming from someone who has the greatest fear of failure ever. And has let opportunities pass by because I was like, no, I'm not going to be good at that. Or no, that's not for me, because it was outside of my comfort zone. But maybe that opportunity that you took wasn't the opportunity for you, but it then created 6 other opportunities. And maybe 4 of those opportunities weren't for you, but 2 were. And then those 4 create 10 more. And like, that's where you don't want to stop yourself.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like there's so many other things other than college that I really want to accomplish. But like, college is what's right here in front of me that I see and feel the most. But there's so many other like things that I also want to do that feel a little bit more exciting than going to school.
Yeah. I think that reflects back to that card of, I don't remember which one. Brie might be able to know. She got better recall than me. Of like prioritizing. You're prioritizing your passions. And then so maybe what you need to do is sit down and write down what your big goals are, what your small goals are, whatever that might be, and prioritize them and figure out how you want to do that. And then maybe through that, maybe college is something that you want to do and you do it now, or maybe college is something that you want to do, but that's next. Maybe moving out is what you want to do right now. Like, just making that list and then prioritizing that, I think, will help you feel more strongly about the decision that you make.
Yeah. Planning gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
That's never been something I've enjoyed to do. After I do it, I feel better. But like getting up and like planning to do something and making that commitment to even make the plan. No.
Yeah, it's hard.
I can, but I can't.
Yeah.
It is hard. Like,
it's hard.
I've put off making a plan for my business.
Don't forget to give yourself a little grace. And also, if you do want to write a list, write a list. But if you don't want to prioritize it immediately, give yourself some time.
Or it could even be like, oh, hey, I want to do that. Let me write it down.
Yeah,
and you wrote it down in that specific journal.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, wait, that's another thing I want to do. You go write it down in that same journal. And then maybe one night you're like, hey, what were those things I want to do? And you just look them over. Like, there's no black and white way to do it. Do it in any way, shape, or form that works for you. Maybe it's not writing it down. Maybe it's through conversation with you and Nate. Maybe it's through conversation with you and me. Maybe it's a conversation with you and your therapist or you yourself. I think that it just needs to happen. Like, you just need to prioritize that for you, because then you just feel more confident in those decisions that you make. But do it in whatever way resonates with you, whatever way doesn't make you tense.
And there's no rush. You have all the time in the world.
Yep.
Right. But that goes back to me feeling like I'm behind because of where the people are that I'm friends with or hang out with are. But I know I'm not. But I feel like I am.
Yeah. I get that. And I don't know how to word this.
It's easier said than done to not let other people's opinions, where they are, affect your vision, your mentality. But you are your own person. And in so many eyes, as I've already expressed, you already are a success. So grasp onto that for a little bit and continue.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I almost, in those aspects, like, Brie likes to do a zoomed out, like when she likes to zoom out and get like the overall perspective versus just focusing on yourself. And for me, in those aspects where I'm like, okay, so-and-so has done this, they're doing this, they're doing this, I'm here. And I feel like I've been here for a very long time. And then I kind of zoom back and I look at everything that I have done and that I have accomplished and that I did. I wouldn't have done without me. And I kind of get that confidence again of being like, no, I'm good where I am. I'm where I am supposed to be. And that's not an easy thing to do. I was not able to do that at your age. I was very angry at your age. We were very different at your age.
I am angry. I just don't show it.
Yeah, I was very, very angry at your age. the world did me wrong, you know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of perspective. And when you come out on the other side of that and you realize that, you know, you had a shitty hand dealt to you at times, yes, but you got through it. And I don't want that like cliche of like that toxic positivity of you got stronger, but I did get stronger. I mentally got stronger with myself. I'm now able to realize my triggers. I'm now able to realize that I'm confident in where I am and that it's a roller coaster, like I've mentioned, and that it's really hard to not compare yourself because that's all society does is compare everyone to everyone else. So it's hard not to do that.
Yeah.
It's literally everywhere.
Yeah. I think it's what it is. If I didn't have Nate being like, I'll explain my feelings to Nate and I'll sit there and I'll relate myself to every other person on the planet. And he'll be like, okay, well, let's take like a social media break. Let's pull away from that and just do something outside. Go outside.
Grounding, yeah.
He's like, you just need to be outside. He's really good at like distancing himself, and I'm very happy that I have him to learn from when it comes to those things. Because our parents are not, don't take those breaks. So it feels very natural to me to just stare at the screen and do this and that. And then, but if I didn't have Nate being like, Audrey, I can't sit here and look at this TV for 8 hours. I need fresh air.
Yeah, that's actually something I've been trying to implement into my day-to-day life. And that's just having that time, whatever it may be. Sometimes I'm painting. Sometimes I'm just playing with the cats. I played a game with Derek the other day. Sometimes I'm hanging out with y'all. But it's just time not on a screen. And it's intentional time with myself. And it helps that. It helps bring that confidence of like, oh, hey, I'm pretty fun. I'm pretty great, you know? Whereas like when you're on your phone, you're seeing everything that your goals pretty much like what you want to be doing and what you're aspiring to do, and you see others doing it and you're like, why am I not doing that yet? You know, and you're comparing yourself to their timeline. And
I heard this quote. I'm sure it's not going to be verbatim, but someone said, when you wake up and you immediately like look at your phone, you scroll on social media, you are already like tainting your day. You're already waking up with a different point of view than if you just woke up and you went about your day like it's 1920.
1920?
No internet, you know.
Okay.
It's just the year I chose.
1920. Wow.
Well, internet was made in 1921.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, that is something that I had to stop doing. And then I don't know if again, guys, my recall sucks. I know I talked about this at some point. I don't know what episode I talked about it in. But when I wake up now, I turn my alarm off. Well, I snooze my alarm.
You and I both.
And for whatever reason, Apple has 9 minutes.
It's frustrating.
It annoys me.
You can't adjust that?
No, I like multiples of 10 Apple. 9 does not cut it.
I've never noticed.
But I've accepted it. Sometimes when my triggers are really bad, I have to snooze until I hit multiple of 10. But that's besides the point. What I do for that period of time, like I don't go back to sleep. I kind of sit with myself and I will say 10 affirmations to myself. I'll say like, I love you. I don't know, all sorts of different things. Changes every morning depending on my mood. And it helps set a different tone for my day. And I try not to look at my phone until, I don't know, at some point, like probably my lunch break at 11, outside of my daily snap.
You mentioned that in our last Tipsy Tarot.
Okay. I was like, I know I mentioned it, but I wasn't sure which one.
I need to get better at not looking at my phone immediately when I get up.
Same. And what's been helping is my dog slapping me in the face. Or slapping my phone out of my face and like, ma'am, please pay attention to me. Always petting him when I'm on my phone, but he's like, give me the eye contact. I am begging for, please.
Yes.
No.
Give me the intentional.
So we've been
Pets.
cuddling
Yeah.
in the morning for a couple minutes. Then it makes it harder to leave, though, so.
I'm not gonna lie, laying in bed, it's like, oh, but this is so nice. Like, there's still that aspect of like, I am not a morning person.
Mm-mm.
But I have started to notice, especially during the time where my mental health is worse. Like, I've just had, and it's not really like mentally I'm beating myself up. It's more like I'm feeling a lot of physical aspects of my mental health. So I've had a lot of anxiety attacks, things of that nature. And that has helped me start my day better, where I am actually in a good mood by the time I get to work. Because a lot of the times when my mental health is like this, like I'm in the nastiest mood ever and I don't need to be around people. I'll snap at people, whoever you are. Like, and I don't like that. That's not me as a person. I'm typically upbeat and positive, and yeah, so it's that's helped me a lot.
Yeah, I agree, because
We're very similar in that way.
I would start off my day if I'm super anxious. I'm usually pretty angry.
Mhm.
And with my career, I can't be,
Mhm.
because dogs feed off your emotions.
Mhm.
I can't go into a room being angry at this poor little dog that's done nothing
Mhm.
and let it think
But
that
be
I'm
in your
mad at it.
presence.
Yeah, it's just existing in the same room as me, and I'm like
Yeah.
very sorry,
Yeah.
but I'm just not happy right now. But
Mhm.
I can't be like that. Otherwise,
Right.
I'm not going to be successful with this animal.
Mhm.
Because this animal's going to feel what I'm feeling and then
Mhm.
basically mirror what what I'm doing. And knowing that has helped me learn how to get myself into a place. Like, even if I sit in the driveway
Mhm.
for like 5 minutes before I go inside, and it's just me being like
It's like that
in and
reset.
out,
Yeah.
in and out, breathing, and just being like, it's okay. You're okay.
Mhm.
You got this. You can go play with a Pomeranian today.
They're fun.
Well, guys, all of this conversation and what we've touched on really pulls directly to the next card. And it's how you can free yourself to be truly you.
Mm.
Affirmations, manifestations.
That was fast.
7 of Wands.
7 of Wands. 7 of Wands reversed. Territorial, loss of power, overwhelm. Overwhelm is clouding your thoughts and action as your tasks have stockpiled in an uncontrollable amount. At first, trying to control everything was your claim to power. However, now it has completely run over your life. Overcommitment is preventing you from shining, as you have too many responsibilities to take care of and are unable to balance and give them proper attention. There is no room to breathe as you give your power away by compromising your position and backing down too easily. There is a rigidity in guarding your territory and possessions out of fear of losing them. Get a hold of yourself and release what doesn't serve you out of your life. Gain back your sense of power and respect by remembering the true essence of who you are.
Where I first went when it came to being overwhelmed and having too many responsibilities and too many tasks and whatnot, moving out would really take care of a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have a lot of tasks and responsibilities that are not mine,
Yeah.
but are mine.
I almost think like when you come down to prioritizing that you're gonna have like our A and B choice to make. And they're almost gonna be equal. And it's gonna be moving out and it's gonna be going to college. Maybe they can coexist. I don't know. It depends, like you said, like on the FAFSA aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think moving out is gonna help you mentally. And I think college is gonna help you financially.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just choosing which path you need to take at what time.
I want them to coexist because I don't want to choose.
They might be able to.
And they might coexist but on different paths. So maybe this year, however it chooses, maybe choice A happens this year, right? And choice B happens in the fall.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they're still coexisting, but they're not at the exact same time.
When it comes to them coexisting, I'm lucky enough to have a partner that is so supportive of what I want to do and also really wants to have her own place, that we are figuring out a way to make this happen for the both of us. And I think that if the way that we have planned it out, that they could coexist, still depending on how good that financial aid is.
But as Autumn said, though, I really want you to prioritize. Like that, I kept hearing the seeing, because I visualize very much what I'm thinking, and it is that list of your priorities and how much they mean to you and how much energy you can put into each choice.
And don't think of like, oh, I have to go write a list that has the checkbox and I have to check it off. Like there's so many different varieties of ways that you can do it. Like it could be a mood board. It could be something that's more fun, more engaging for you. Like however that is for you. Like maybe you're the person that has to have all the colored pens and they have the paper or they have the poster board or whatever the case may be.
I have so many colored pens.
I'm just saying, like
it's just funny you said that because it's something I so enjoy buying.
It's something that I do. So I'm like, maybe it's that, you know.
I don't really
know.
use them, but I do buy them.
Mood board is more visual. And I know sometimes when people can see that visually, they then get more inspired. You keep that motivation. Like it can literally be whatever you want and it can go at a pace that's right for you.
Mood board sounds fun.
I love mood boards, and you know I would always help you with
yes,
one.
I know, because I have no idea even how to go about making a mood board. So that would
Gotta
be
get
pretty
that
cool.
iPad. Gotta become an iPad kid.
I was once an iPad kid, and then now I'm a computer kid, and now I want to be the iPad computer kid.
I'm an iPad computer kid.
That is a small goal of mine is iPad.
How do you relate that to the question?
So what I heard and what was calling to me is going back to that like fear of letting yourself down. Which to me, how I connected with that is something that I struggle with is when I have a goal, I have something I want to do, that I put this pressure on myself of like, I need to make this decision. This is like big, and it starts to get overwhelming and my anxiety gets so big that I also have let myself down because it got to be too much, and then I avoided it and I missed that opportunity. And that's what directly called to me with this card is like that energy, that anxiety, and that's the lesson that you're working through right now. And learning how to heal that will help you connect and free yourself to be of this true essence that we've laid in the cards today.
I resonate with that.
Yes. Very well said.
Making a decision is not something I've always loved to do. I've always been pretty indecisive because I've never had the confidence to make a decision and fully make that decision. Like, so much to the point that I couldn't pick a cup for my drink today.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like the people-pleasing aspect too, because like you and I are very similar in that aspect. And it's like these are choices you now get to make for yourself. And you don't have that outside factor to please almost. Like you have to please yourself. And that's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because you're not used to that. You're used to that outside source kind of steering you where to go and telling you what to do and being like giving you that praise that you need, but it's really you need it from yourself.
What I was going to say off of that though is like, if someone else tells you to do something, if they hold that responsibility, if something goes wrong, you can kind of feel like you can blame them and partial.
Right.
Like it takes that blame off of you. Whereas like if it's coming from yourself, you have no one else to blame but yourself. And so it gets really hard.
Yeah. I've definitely had an easier time with people making decisions for me. That's not necessarily healthy, but it feels more comfortable for me because I've definitely looked at Nate and been like, okay, should I go to college?
Just tell me what to do.
Should I go to college or should I not go to college? And he's like, this is a decision you need to make. He's like, I can give my input, but I don't want to until I want you to decide this and not have it be decided for you. It's something that you need to choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, well, thanks for absolutely nothing. I just needed you to say yes or no, thank you. But no.
So it really sounds like it just keeps coming back to the prioritizing and just doing it in whatever way you need to do it on your own time. But I really think, I mean, it's the same thing of like, oh, I gotta clean my room, I gotta clean my house, I gotta clean my car. I don't want to do it. It seems like this big task. I keep putting it off. There's some specific word for it that Brie knows that I always forget.
Executive dysfunction.
Yes. And it's like, I don't want to do it. And because it's me, I can choose not to do it, right? Like I can give myself that freedom, that leisure of like, no, it'll get done tomorrow or whatever. But then that is what's giving me anxiety, is that it's not done. And it's just like taking that step, however little that it needs to be, to just do it or to do a part of it and letting that be your motivation to get through it.
It's a good point. That makes me think like, so keeping my room clean, and I know that was a vague thing, but keeping my room clean, keeping my car clean, my workspace clean, I've taken the steps to get myself there. I've taken the steps to, like, I've kept my room clean for about 4 months now, and
More power to you, girlfriend.
that is not something that
Not
I've
something-
ever really done either.
Not something I can do.
It's
Me neither.
it started really small,
Mhm.
and I had to think about it. I was like, okay, this room's really dirty, and now I got Nate, who has to deal with this dirty room,
Yeah.
and my dog. My poor dog.
Mhm.
And it's not that bad. There's trash. He's happy about it.
Mhm.
Anyways, I took the small steps. It was like one day I picked up the trash.
Mhm.
One day I made my bed. I eventually got to doing my laundry. I could do my laundry. Putting that laundry away never really happened. Unless Nate got tired of my clothes falling out of my closet.
I hate clothes.
And he put it away for me. But now I got comfortable with him doing those things for me that I didn't do them. It's not his responsibility to do those things. But he did those things because he knew that it helped me. So then I realized I was falling into a pattern where I was expecting him to do those things for me. And then I was like, no, I don't like that. I'm relying too much on him for something that's not his responsibility. And now I am in a place where I am actually doing my laundry once a week, putting it away as soon as it comes out of the dryer, cleaning my room, vacuuming it. I found this really cool broom that's actually giving me the motivation to clean my carpet. I gotta have cool toys and stuff to make it fun. But taking these things that I've learned on how to get myself to do those things and applying them to this part of my life is what I feel like I need to do.
It's a very similar situation. Something that's just you don't want to do. It seems agonizing. It seems like torture. Like, why do I want to do that? That doesn't seem fun. Like, it's just the same with like writing down and doing your finances every month. Like, that shit sucks. It's the part of adulting they don't talk about, but it's needed.
The part of the adulting that they should talk about.
Oh yes, oh yes, for sure.
I did not need to know y equals mx plus b squared c.
Slope. Even I was like, hey, that's slope.
I needed to know how to do my taxes.
But yeah, it's doing that and giving yourself the grace and creating a way that you can do it. So like maybe it's going to Starbucks and having that yummy coffee, and then that gives you the motivation to prioritize, or you go to a space that's separate and neutral that's fun for you and you prioritize, or whatever the case may be. But implementing what you just did for your cleaning your space and applying it to prioritizing your situations.
Yeah. You said something about Starbucks, right? And what I do when I think about myself going to college or doing whatever it is that I haven't done yet that I want to do. I
Mhm.
picture myself doing these things visually.
At
Mhm.
Starbucks?
Mhm.
At the cafe
Right near us.
right near us.
Yeah.
Going there, sitting there on my computer, like my headphones, and typing my essay or whatever it is, and just like living that college life, you know? That excites me.
I want you to hold on to that.
Mhm. I'm almost thinking like a visual board would be good for you because it's something that you can look at, you can see, and then maybe off that visual board you can create those manifestations and affirmations.
Probably would be because I'm a visual learner.
But I also want you to reflect on the fact that like this card specifically said overwhelming.
Mhm.
And when those overwhelming thoughts of, well, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but when I go into this overwhelming overthinking bullshit that I can't stand, it's how will this affect my significant other? How will this affect A, B, and C? If I do this outcome and that, and that's when it starts to become overwhelming. When you need to reel it back and go, okay, I signed up for college. This is what I wanted, and just kind of live in that for a minute. And I think that might help with the calming of it doesn't matter who it affects or whatever. This is my life and this is what's best for me and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we've kind of wrapped up the reading, or we've done all the cards at least, how do you feel? Even more confused?
No, not confused, conflicted.
Okay.
Because, like, I feel what the universe is trying to tell me.
Mhm.
Half of me wants to listen. Half of me wants to shut the
And
door.
then there's that executive dysfunction disorder. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Because, like, truly, honestly, when it comes to college, all I need to do is call. And phone calls, I do them every day for work.
It's different. It's different when it's your own stuff. Like, this is coming from someone who literally mans phones all day
Right.
long. Like, that's all I do is talk to people. But when I have to call the dentist or I have to call the doctor, I ain't fucking doing that shit.
Mhm.
Like, it took me, 2 weeks of having headaches and feeling like shit and just like to just call the doctor and be like, and then I called them for a completely different aspect of wasn't really the priority. But I went.
But that is a step in the right direction.
Exactly.
That is still a step in the
Yeah.
right direction. And I know that, like, I can call these people. And,
Mhm.
like, if I however I get, if I get too anxious, hang up. Try again the next day. Whatever it is that I do,
Mhm.
it's going to be okay.
Mhm. And it's also okay that you feel anxious. That's
And
also
that's what
something to tell yourself too.
That's what I try to tell myself. This is a normal feeling. This is most people experience this feeling, and it's not necessarily just the phone call. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. And not even just most people. I wouldn't, because like that comes back to like comparing yourself to others.
Okay.
I would just sit in the fact of like, it's okay that I feel this way. This is my feeling. This is my emotion. This is what I'm feeling right now. And that is okay. And sitting in that emotion with yourself and not kind of bringing that aspect of others in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good way to
Finding
put
that
it.
reassurance within yourself.
Yeah. There are going to be these moments in life and that overwhelm you. And unfortunately, I have to tell you, this isn't the biggest one.
Right.
There's more to come. But just think of the possibilities when you get through this one.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing with life lessons is how they're cyclical. And even if this one bypasses you, it's going to come up again with something else. Or even if you work through this one, you're going to see it again. But you're going to take the tools that you have learned in this phase right now and bring that with you for the next one. And you're going to be more prepared and get through it easier because you went through this now.
Yeah.
The time feels right to do it.
You have boundless potential. You can do whatever you put your mind to, and it's all going to be whatever happens is meant to happen.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answers.
And I hope that the biggest thing from this is you got this, girl.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
really do. And you have a you have a bigger support system than you know.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Much bigger than I knew. And I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
We love you.
I think does that wrap it up?
I think so.
My sweat says yes.
Yes, my body and my ears and my head are like, it's time to be done.
I think I might be part of this pillow at this point.
Well, Audrey, thank you so much for coming on to this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. Absolutely.
Very nice and enlightening.
Mm-hmm. Very loving.
Yes, very loving. It's definitely
Very
something
loving.
I needed.
We can do this again.
Yes.
I would love to do this again.
Yes. You having a good time? You got
Have-
used to the mic as you got going.
Yeah,
You got better
I
at
did.
keeping it.
Yeah. I had to it has to touch my nose,
Yeah.
otherwise it's not going to stay there.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. This was a good reading. I know we were hesitant
Mhm.
at first for like the spread, but
Mhm.
it was pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, like, please do share how you related to this and what aspect of your life it's relating. And yeah, just share that. And I know I say it every episode, but I really do want to start seeing
Mhm.
everyone's perspectives and how they take away from this.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Unfiltered 3. Remember, we release new episodes every Monday. But if that's not enough, connect with us on our socials at Unfiltered 3, where we can uplift, inspire, and embark on this journey together. Thank you for listening and for being a part of our community. Until next time, take care and keep shining your authentic light. Bye, guys.
Bye.